please make sure that you are staying in the level that you are in now until you have a sense of completeness, until you feel like for level 1 that you have thrown everything away. And this takes a very long time and a lot of practice. There's no such thing as being able to get through it quickly. It just doesn't happen. You have to remember you've had many, many years of conditioning and experiences and becoming a human living in the world. And because of this, it will take you many, many sessions, maybe many years, and that's okay. This is something that is very difficult, but will be your greatest accomplishment. So let's begin our meditation. Today, we're looking out at the stars in the sky above us. There's so many stars out there. It's pretty much infinite. In the Milky Way alone, there may be 200 billion stars. And that amount is gigantic. And there are billions of galaxies, maybe more. But in our particular galaxy, the Milky Way, it's particularly beautiful. Things are constantly being created and destroyed. Life is a continual process. It's all the same life, the continuation and the destruction. So it's never really destroyed. It just keeps rolling over and over and over. So we're going to look up at the Milky Way. And as we're looking up at the Milky Way, we notice that there's a center part of the Milky Way. And the center part is vast, and it's quite a long ways away. So we begin to travel past the millions of stars that are between us and the Milky Way center. And as we approach it, things get clearer and clearer to us. There's dust clouds and matter, planets, rock, and other stars. And as we get closer to the center of our galaxy, we notice the stars that are around the center are moving much faster. We can actually see them moving around the center. There's a beautiful bright light coming from the center, very powerful. But as we get closer, we notice that we have a control where we can turn down the brightness of this light so we can see better. And as we get closer to the center, we see not just stars spinning around the center, but we also see planets and material going around the center, and it bends up and over and spins around again. It's quite beautiful and definitely amazing. We're still a good distance away, but now we can see a black disk with all the matter rotating around it. And the black disk is the black hole at the center of our galaxy. It's very powerful, very mysterious. And as we watch, we notice that the things that are way out here rotate around this black hole slower. And as we get closer towards the black hole, we notice that the things orbit around the black hole at a much quicker rate. And the closer you are to the black hole, the faster it rotates. And this black hole is enormous. It's much bigger than the Earth. It's much bigger than the sun. And as we get closer towards the black hole, we notice that the objects that are orbiting it, including us, are going very fast around the black hole, faster than any spaceship. And as we look towards where the stuff that's rotating meets the black hole, we notice that it gradually increases towards the speed of light and then transitions past the speed of light into the darkness of the black hole. And it disappears. And as things are spinning, they're going so fast that it burns everything up and tears everything apart. So we decide we are going to enter into a shuttle and take a journey of exploration towards the black hole. And as we go towards the black hole, everything that we're observing is true. We notice things that are so fast, they're just a blur. They're just a streak of light. And then it disappears into the black hole. And as we're on our spaceship going towards it, we realize and think about all the things that make up our human existence, our attachments, our loves, our hates, our animosities, our apathies, our caring and our not caring. All these things that make us up, make up what we call human. And there are things that make us sad, things that make us very happy, excited, fearful. All these things we bring with us as baggage. This is who I am, like a giant encyclopedia of all these experiences that we have had, viewed through our mind's eye. With or without reality, we'll never know, but our judgments have caused them to be clouded at best, if not complete fiction. So as we float towards the center of the black hole, we realize these things have kind of made me sad. Sometimes they can never even be lived up to. Our expectations, our desires, our wants, sometimes they can never quite be achieved. In this sadness, we realize that we are locked in the gravity of this black hole, that there is no going back. And as we look out the window, we can see all the particles turning into a bright white light and disappearing that are in front of us as it's spinning faster and faster. So fast we can't even understand how fast it is. And as we get closer, we notice that the space shuttle that we're in is beginning to stretch and pull apart. And we look down at our bodies and the same thing is happening. We're stretching towards the black hole. And as we continue to float inwards with no escape possible, we notice that our feet are now miles and miles from our body, from our head, being stretched and pulled apart. And this continues until we see our feet disappear in a bright flash of light that also disappears into the black hole. And as we continue, we see that our body is gradually being eaten as it's stretched into a long strand of thread. And it is torn apart and disappearing. All of the things that were me, that were my human, my body, and all the things that made me who I am are disappearing. And we realize the necessity that things must disappear that we're holding on to so they can be replaced by a spiritual, more intelligent, more perfect representation of what they were. So I see everything being pulled into the black hole. My feet, my lower leg, my upper, my torso, my arms, my shoulder, all disappearing into the black hole and burning up completely. And my head, all ripped apart down to the cell level, and that's completely destroyed, down to the molecular level, and that's completely destroyed, down to the atom level, and even those are ripped apart and processed into nothingness. I am completely in the black hole, and I've left all of my humanness behind. And now I'm sitting in a chair inside the black hole. It's oh so peaceful. I'm enjoying just experiencing this nothingness, the beauty. And I see a light in front of me. And I'm drifting inside the black hole to its center, to the light. The light is very beautiful. It's white, blues, and purples. And as I enter it, there are many, many beings in there, infinite beings, actually infinite life. And I realize we're all the same. We're all at peace. We all love completely. We're all one. And I stay here and I enjoy it tremendously. And it gives me a sense of confidence. And it gives me a sense of oneness. And I choose to go back here many, many times. And each time I go back here, I get a little deeper into the oneness, into the infinite love, into a perfect life, the way it was designed to be. But we have chosen to clutter it up. So I am going to stay in here for a little while longer. And when I feel the time is right, I'm going to come out into the world and live my life in a spirit of oneness, love, and joy.